AI might not be what everyone is telling you. You are probably thinking, well, every big tech company and politician says that AI is going to solve everything, leading us to live in a world where there is no work and robots serve us. I am here to tell you this is currently wrong. AI is thrown around as a buzzword and used in a very broad sense, allowing profit to be made from adding 2 letters to your product. The concept of AI is essentially the idea of computers being able to think and reason. In 1956, John McCarthy, a professor at Dartmouth College, led a project called Artificial Intelligence, which is considered the birth of the concept of AI. Over the years, it has developed rapidly from being able to play chess, chase you as a ghost in Pac-Man, talk to you in the form of a chatbot, and control robots. Intelligence can come in many forms. For example, what would you consider more impressive? A robot that's only purpose is to spread butter, or a robot that can solve any problem in the universe? AI can have varying levels of intelligence. For example, anyone that has played GTA 1 knows that the police are much more advanced in GTA 5. AI has a lot of useful applications. However, leading tech companies seem to want to replace people with AI rather than use it as a tool that can help people. This has a lot to do with the fixation on creating a model that can solve everything rather than creating AI models that are designed to specific tasks. Let's take currently one of the most known AI products, large language models. These are products such as ChatGPT, Grok, and Copilot, to name a few. These are some of the most popular AI chatbots at the moment, with ChatGPT alone crossing 800 million users in April of this year. That is pretty much 10% of the world using ChatGPT. Do not get me wrong, all of these products do have amazing applications. Students can use chatbots to get instant feedback on work and use them as a one-to-one teacher. Accountants can use them to make large savings, and businesses and programmers can use them to write code. But how are these outputs generated? When you ask ChatGPT a question, how does it come up with a response? Large language models are based on a type of AI model called a transformer. These models essentially can take massive amounts of text and find relationships within the words to allow the model to understand the data and generate text from the data. Sounds complicated, right? The most important thing about these models is the data that is put into them, as this matters a lot, as depending on the data put in the model will get a completely different understanding. One way to think of this is if you're taught someone how to add numbers together and take away. If you ask them to do a multiplication question, they would freak out. But this could be more serious. For example, if you have blue aliens and red aliens living together and you want to make an AI that can find all the criminals, but in the data you only have red aliens that are criminals and no blue aliens, the model will always predict red aliens are criminals. Another thing to consider with these types of models is the environmental impact. AI models like these are trained using vast data centers which consume massive amounts of energy. ChatGPT uses enough energy in one day to power over 8 million iPhones and enough water to fill almost 1 million baths. Also, there's concerns over the environmental impact of these data centers, an example of which is in Memphis, where XAI, ran by Elon Musk, allegedly is making the largest industrial source of smog, which is having effects on local residents. Another negative to consider is the use of AI in defense. Artificial intelligence can create smart weapons that give countries massive amounts of power. One example of this is Palantir, who use AI for a variety of products. One area they develop in is drones, which can be seen in the video playing, and as seen, the slogan is, "Battles are won before they begin." This literally looks like an episode of Black Mirror. Anyway, there is a lot of impacts to consider which a lot of companies seem to gloss over and try and avoid talking about regarding AI. However, there is a lot of good applications for it too. Examples of this are in the medical field for disease diagnosis and healthcare analysis, also using AI models to detect scam emails in email filters. Most AI models that are actually used in industry normally do a specific task rather than solve everything. This means when training the models, less data and more accurate data can be used rather than the models having to gain understanding from vast amounts of data. Making an AI that can play chess is a lot less of a challenge than making an AI that can solve world hunger. There are many places in the world for artificial intelligence, from things such as NPCs in games to models that can personalize medicine, and at the end of the day, an AI robot is not going to come and kick down your door tomorrow and replace you. I doubt this will ever be the case. However, it is important to think, what are these companies selling you? What data are they using and who is funding them, as they may want to see specific results. If you enjoyed this video, give us a follow and feel free to share your experiences with AI in the comments. Go Techie!